Now, this would be one crazy story if it actually happens. Yes, the Bears could be pursuing a former enemy to add depth to the offensive tackle room. And according to Heavy.com, the Bears are favorited to land former All-Pro offensive tackle who played for the ugly guys up north and has shown his hate towards this team in the past. We're all thinking that the Bears are going to go after and get an edge or a center before training camp, but it's starting to sound like offensive tackle depth is really what we're going to be going for, and those other two rooms are locked in. And to be honest, after the ex-Packer experiment of Luke Getsy, I'm not feeling too amazing about this one at first, but the more you look into it, there are benefits to it. But let's break it down. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, thank you for tuning in. You read the title, the thumbnail, everything right. The Bears are favorited at the moment, according to Clutch Sports Betting, to sign All-Pro offensive tackle David Bakhtiari ahead of training camp. The three-time Pro Bowl, five-time All-Pro offensive tackle could be switching sides in the NFL's oldest rivalry and coming to Chicago in free agency. And I am still even shocked to be saying that because it looks like the chances keep rising each passing moment. I'm going to break down a little bit more about David, his stats, and why this could be a move, and more about the potential shocking move for a veteran who could bring good knowledge to our young offensive line. And before I kick off today's show, please smash that like button if you would like this move to happen ahead of camp, along with commenting bear down in the comment section below if you're ready for training camp in 2 weeks. And if you haven't already, if you please could hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news and content. So David Bakhtiari, 32 years old, going to be 33 at the beginning of next season, is a 6'4", 310-pound offensive tackle who has spent his entire career with the Green Bay Packers of all 11 years. He is built super lean for 310 pounds and is exactly what Ryan Poles looks for in the big athletic build for his offensive linemen, specifically offensive tackles to stay up with edge speed and be a strong protection for Caleb Williams. And overall, 11 years in the league, not bad at all. Right there alone, this move would be bringing a veteran presence to help with depth and teach these younger offensive guys at the moment, because Darnell, Wright, and Braxton Jones could learn a lot from this guy for just being on the roster, along with them working with Caleb Williams and, Bakhtiari kind of showing, hey, this is how we should work with your tackles to the quarterback relationship. Also, a few other things, considering he worked with Aaron Rodgers all those years, someone that Caleb Williams looked up to. He was drafted in the 4th round in 2013 out of Colorado, and his All-Pro and Pro Bowl status make him a very attractive veteran for any sort of roster. And no, he will not be paid that crazy $23 million a year that he had in his last 4-year, $92 million contract, which he only played 25 games on, and he's going to be significantly less, considering he has no job at the moment. He's going to be willing to take a cut, and that long injury history is definitely going to scare away some teams. So 11 years in the pros, you're going to have some pretty solid stats considering people kept you around, especially being on one team and having the big contracts that he had. During his career, he has played in 131 games, starting every single one of them with 8,433 offensive snaps. Tons of experience, along with having 60 penalties over that 11-season span. Holding is this guy's worst enemy, having 36 over his career, along with 7 unnecessary roughness penalties and 19 false starts. He has not played a full season since 2019 after signing that 4-year, $92 million contract, and which is kind of crazy to say because in 2019, he did play in 12 games, starting all of them, and he was an All-Pro first team along with a Pro Bowler that year. So just imagine how good he would have been if he would have played the entire time. But injuries have been this guy's derailment and kryptonite like anybody else. But the second he signed that contract, this guy cannot shake anything off. Only playing in 25 games since 2019. And that stinks because he was one of the league's best, was definitely entertaining to watch when he wasn't playing the Bears, but hasn't been able to get rid of that injury bug. And unfortunately, that's what's hurting him and probably making teams, one, not want to sign a 33-year-old offensive tackle, but someone who signed a big money contract and barely played. So like I said earlier, $23 million is not in the book for this guy. I mean, yes, back in the day, this guy was absolutely worth every single dollar. And the Bears still haven't even signed Caleb Williams or Rome Odunze yet to their rookie contracts. Those numbers are pretty much set. It just becomes the language of the contracts at this point. But I don't see them going out and giving this guy too big of a contract because he's going to want to be a starter. Telling reports that he, quote, isn't a reliever guy and he is a cornerstone for any team he may go to, unquote, implying that he wants to be a starter wherever he ends up. And we already have Braxton Jones as our left tackle position where Bakhtiari is known for playing. So maybe some camp competition. I could see it more as a veteran move to bring in a mentor for a depth piece, maybe work in with Braxton Jones. Not too sure, but it's a big benefit overall for him coming into this team. So maybe let's give him a 1 year, $6 million with up to $10 million with incentives, maybe something along those lines to get that double-digit number. Here's what I'm going to say about this move. I see it as a veteran move, bringing in a mentor for Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright. Absolutely love that. Maybe bringing in saying, hey, this is what the Green Bay Packers do. This is the culture. This is how we were able to win. This is what Jordan Love does. Kind of going over enemy line. I don't see that happening, though. Those Packers guys always seem really loyal to not spilling the beans. I mean, Mercedes Lewis has been the only Packer we've signed recently that hasn't been a big deal. Overall, I mean, I thought we'd be going more of the edge room or the center position with all the rumors that we've been hearing. But I'm not mad about this move because Braxton Jones was hurt last year. Darnell Wright played with one arm against Max Crosby last season because we didn't have any depth. So you bring in a veteran that can teach these guys, be a very solid depth piece. You're not doing wear and tear in his body. He's still recovering from multiple injuries that he's had over the last couple of seasons, including the ACL that he had a couple of years ago. Overall, I mean, I like the move from a depth perspective. I like the move from the veteran status, the knowledge, the culture, everything. I mean, I could see this guy definitely embracing being part of Chicago, but with how he has embraced being a Green Bay Packer, it might be hard to get fully 100%. I overall can see why this is starting to heat up. He wants to go to a team that's going to win. I think the Bears are going to win a lot of games this year. He wants to go to a team where he can be a cornerstone. Give Braxton Jones a run for his money. Make him uncomfortable. Make him also understand that this is, you're better than some. You're not the best in the league. So overall, you give a guy that has been the best in the league a chance to make a run for his money. Braxton Jones knows this offense. This guy knows the division too, and David Bakhtiari. So a lot of knowledge here if the Bears are to bring him in. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that he has too much hatred toward the Bears. I think he would rather sit out this season than go back to the Chicago Bears, or he's not going to go back to the Green Bay Packers, it sounds like. But would be crazy. He won't go to the Vikings. I will say that. The Lions, they don't need him. He's going to want, I mean, the New York Jets have been the big rumor. But overall, wouldn't it be something if the Bears do sign him? Would love to hear your guys' comments in the comment section below. Again, please, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Put a bear down in the comment section below and your thoughts on potentially signing him. And please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And share this video with someone. I would love to enhance and get more Bears fans before camp starts. Things are going to start getting crazy, and I can't thank you all for your support enough. I know it's been some dry content with, absolutely nothing going on, but I appreciate your guys' support. We're almost there, guys. Can't wait for it. So stay tuned for that. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in this episode of Just Another Your Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, bear down, baby.